other than football, what's been lighting up a phone line right here on this show is the conversation born out of the California Fair Pay to Play Act that the governor signed into law here, allowing collegiate athletes in the state of California starting in 2023 to be able to hire an agent for endorsement purposes and make money off their name, likeness, and image. And as you know, there has been a hue and outcry from the NCAA and also certain Pac-12, Big Ten commissioners, and so on and so forth that say it's the end, the sky is falling. Where do you stand on this subject?
It should be the end. The end of the NCAA as we know it. Get out. You've been Barney Fife for 40, 50 years. Get out. How many chances have you had? Get out. And I'm glad this is signed into law. I'm glad it's law. I mean, we're talking so people don't, people still, it's amazing. People have more information at their fingertips than ever, and yet people are dumber than ever about certain things that they don't want. They put their fingers in their ears they don't want to hear. So let's give a real strong example of how this could happen. Let's say the top female golfer at UCLA decides that she wants to now put a shingle out and she can give lessons. She can teach. She can go to school and go to UCLA and play golf and also give some lessons, and people are willing to pay the going rate. I don't know, what's the going rate, $80 an hour, something like that? And people decide they want to go to this young lady and pay her. And she makes a couple of grand a month. That might be a little ambitious, but she can do that. Well, now she can. Before she couldn't. That's what likeness is as well. That's what it includes. If a player wanted to sell his or her game-worn jersey to an alum after a game, so they have a little auction, they could do that. It doesn't mean the school or the state is paying the player, the student. People are so dumb about these things. I'm not just in favor of it. It should have happened a long time ago. And if the NCAA can't get its arms around it or can't figure out a way to morph into an organization that can live with this kind of change, and if it's happening in California, Rich, is going to happen. Are Florida and Texas going to be far behind? No. It's going to happen all over the place. And like Richard Sherman and Draymond Green and others, let the NCAA just deep six it. Let it go away. Someone else will come along with an idea. There are very smart, capable people who manage to create models that manage much more difficult things than this. So let them come right out of the woodwork and start planning it. If the NCAA can't get its act together, please be gone.
I'm with you on that, Michael. That said, a couple things. Number one, great Barney Fife reference. Just great. Anytime anybody can come on and conjure up an image of Don Knotts.
Be careful. You're giving up your age. Be careful.
No, it's all good.
You go Barney Fife, that means we're getting old.
It's all good, Michael. And if people don't know, there is Google, unlike the time when Barney Fife was ruling America. That's number one. Number two, the unintended consequence, however, that I'm thinking about, while also pounding the table that I have here in front of me as strongly as you just did on the phone right here, Michael Wilbon on the Rich Eisen Show, is what about the Buddy Garrity's of the Friday Night Lights world now suddenly bringing in all kinds of cash, absurdly large, absurd numbers of dollars into the pockets of players that would then send them to institutions of higher learning at which there's no learning. So what about that idea that suddenly now you're letting that happen?
Yeah, it's certainly going to exist, Rich. I'm not going to stick my hand in the sand on that, but it's already existed. I mean, some schools have already had advantages over others, and some schools have been put on. The NCAA, when it had power, put people on probation. It didn't. Did it discourage it? It certainly, if it stopped it, if it served as a deterrent, it didn't discourage everybody. I mean, any system is going to have people looking at it to find loopholes. I mean, we know that. Just like tax law in the United States of America. I mean, this isn't unique. Going to be unique to intercollegiate competition. But you do the best you can. I mean, there are people. There are let's face it, there are young Mark Cuban type minds out there who may say, okay, here's the way that this should go. Here's a system. I've got one. You know there are going to be people like this. There already are. Let's find them. And I'm not so worried about the exceptions. There are going to be exceptions. There have been exceptions. The NCAA, it wasn't just exceptions. Sometimes it ran rampant. So let's get rid of that cancer first. And if the NCAA can come up with a way to manage this, fine. Then they can throw their hat in the ring with others. But just to think that this is not going to happen in the NCAA, oh, poor NCAA, I'm way past that point. The NCAA should have been proactive in these sorts of ways decades ago and wasn't.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.